Welcome to the Healing Guide TV. I'm Carol Serby. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today we continue on our throat chakra series. Today we're going to talk a little bit about underactive and overactive throat chakras. Being a matrix energy healer and body symbologist, I've always got people coming to me asking me about the throat chakra. How can I tell if it's underactive? How can I tell if it's overactive? How can I tell if it's balanced? What's working for me, what isn't? So we're going to talk about that a little bit here today. When your throat chakra, which is located in the neck here, is underactive, you won't be able to express yourself, and you will often be misinterpreted or misunderstood by others. You will be considered wishy-washy or flaky. You'd also be considered unreliable by other people in your life. And it's not that you are unreliable, it's that your communication comes across. You don't often say everything that you need to communicate in order for that other person to know exactly what to expect or where they stand. So it's not that you're wishy-washy, it's just that you haven't communicated everything that you need to. So right there is something that you can start to work on. So if people are considering you wishy-washy or flaky or unreliable, you can say to yourself, okay, what is it in my communication with these people that's giving them that impression? Am I not telling them everything that they need to know? If you're anything like me, sometimes I just get sick and tired of talking. So sometimes that happens with me is I'm done with talking. I talk to people all day long, and sometimes I just have had enough, and I don't always communicate everything I need to, and it's because I'm tired. And I know that about myself, so I do make that extra effort to make sure that everybody is in the loop and everybody knows what's going on. When you're running two businesses and a family of 4, everybody needs to know what's going on. Telling the truth and being honest with yourself is something you probably have a difficult time with, and giving mixed messages is likely something that has gotten you into trouble before. The problem with having an underactive throat chakra and your telling of the truth is the underactive doesn't allow you to tell the truth, okay? Which is different than telling the truth and having someone else's throat chakra, another person that you're speaking to, having their throat chakra shut down and them not wanting to hear you. So that's totally different. So when you're looking at the underactive and overactive of the throat chakra, be careful that another person's issue you're not trying to blame on yourself. You know that old adage, wives always say, oh, my husband never hears me. I truly believe that that happens. It's something within the relationship themselves that one doesn't necessarily want to hear what the other one is saying. So there's that whole battle of the communication, and if one chooses not to listen, then all of a sudden they put themselves in the superior position of being right because they didn't hear you tell them such and such. But the actual fact of the matter is that you did tell them such and such, and that is a signal for a problem within that relationship, being it boss, employee, husband and wife, parents and children's, sibling to sibling. So just be aware of those, okay? And make sure that it's not your throat chakra that's not performing correctly, because it could be somebody else's. Until you find a balance within the throat chakra, your life will remain the same, and nothing will ever work out in a way that you would like it to. An underactive throat chakra can show up as a resistance to change, stubbornness, who do we know that does that, and not talking much or not communicating well. An overactive throat chakra leaves you more likely to be over-opinionated and perhaps very critical of others and how they are performing in their life. So that's the outward focus rather than the inward focus. Overactive chakras may be verbally abusive to those around that person, and may find yourself yelling a lot when not necessary. You won't allow others to talk back or voice their opinions about certain situations. It'll be your way or no way. And anybody with an overactive throat chakra, any imbalance whatsoever, the chakras are a little funny in the sense that you can go from overactive to underactive to overactive. And if you're not aspiring for equal continuity and equal balance, you will forever be on this roller coaster. So if you find that you are not allowing others to have an opinion, you're yelling a lot when it's not necessary, or maybe you are the victim of verbal abuse, or maybe you're the one that's being yelled at. So that's a really good signal for you to look at the throat chakra of that other person. And again, not to deflect anything off of you. If it's your issue, you take responsibility for it. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes you are the target. So these are good things to know and just to be aware of in your own life. An overactive throat chakra can also show up as domineering, hyperactive, or very talkative. The type of person that you can't get a word in edgewise. So there's an exercise that you can do to help balance out your throat chakra. And it's actually really fun and really simple. You just create something, display it or perform it, and make sure others besides you see or hear your creation. You can do what I'm doing. You can create a video on something you know, and you can put it on YouTube, or you can offer to volunteer in your kids' high school class about maybe a subject that you're an expert on. Other exercise you can do is to do shoulder or neck rolls. We all know about shoulder rolls. When I do a neck roll, I never roll at the back. Always just side to side. Crack, crack, crack. It happens every time. Or you can do the yoga pose known as the lion. Now, I'm not super familiar with the lion, but I know that you have to puff out your breath and hang your mouth open like a cat. And then you have to cross your eyes, look here, then look at the tip of your nose, and then look out. So, for those of you that know how to do it, great. For those of you that don't, that's about all I can help you with. You find it on another video. Hum, sing, or chant. Find a place where you won't be disturbed, and preferably a place with great resonance. And do it with as much authenticity as you can. If you're going to do it with your true voice, not your voice as you think it should sound. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm so grateful that you stopped by and opted to watch this video. I really enjoy spreading this information and spreading my message. If you like the content of today's video, please do give me a thumbs up, or you can share it, or you can subscribe. All the buttons are at the end of the video or below. Thank you again for joining me on the Healing Guide TV. I'm Carol Serby. Good night.